Good morning, everybody. It is day 36 of the suffering. It is Monday of week 6. It's 5 in the morning. And it's time to wake up and continue on this journey of progress, getting closer and closer to the goal, getting this cardio in. We are up to 30 minutes in the morning. We started that last week on Wednesday night. We bumped up to 30 minutes. So this week we will be doing 30 minutes twice a week from here on out to the end of this. Got 6.5 more weeks to go. And it's actually getting a lot easier waking up and getting on this and doing this. So I'm gonna get this cardio in. See you guys in the kitchen. That 30 minutes went by really fast. Really fast. I am thankful for that. Sometimes that cardio session really drags out, but honestly, I think it has a lot to do with being off yesterday. So getting to sleep in, wake up, lay around, rest, eat my food, take it easy. We didn't really do a whole lot of anything. I did my yoga in the morning. Went to the grocery store, cooked. And other than that, I just got a whole lot of rest in. Didn't take a nap. Was going to, but I didn't. Wasn't tired enough, actually. Normally, I would try to get a midday nap in, but I guess I just didn't need it. And I thought I was going to have a little bit of trouble waking up this morning to do cardio, but I did not. I actually woke up extremely easy, and I gotta say, I feel really good this morning. And I know it's because all the rest from yesterday, but we will see how I feel come Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because that's normally when it really starts getting to me, because leg day is on Wednesday, quads, and that's the day that normally wrecks me, and the rest of the week from there, I'm just feeling really exhausted. And then plus, what I'll be doing this whole week is a lot of labor, which I have a laborious job anyways, but this week is going to be a little bit different than what I normally do, handling all that lumber. But hopefully I get it done early on in the week. Hopefully I can finish everything by Tuesday, Wednesday, and get back to my regularly scheduled program at work, which is routine. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy getting to do something different because I like building and I like doing carpentry work, so I don't mind doing what I'm doing at work. I actually enjoy having a break from the monotonous day in and day out, same old thing every single day. And this weekend I was also like looking at old videos of myself and pictures, and I come to the conclusion that I definitely respond a lot better to red meat than I do to chicken breast. Doing lean ground meat, I don't know what it is with the red meat, but I know that my blood type, it agrees with red meat better than chicken. I know that chicken is a lot better for my blood type than, I know red meat's a lot better for my blood type than chicken, but I wanted to see what happens if I did brown rice, chicken, green beans, no seasoning, egg whites twice a day, protein shake, and oatmeal for 3 months straight. I wanted to see what would happen. And I'm not going to find out what's going to be the end result if I stop now, because like I said many times, chicken pound for pound is leaner, chicken breast, than anything else out there really. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. But I will definitely be going back to red meat after this cut and jasmine rice instead of brown rice to see what the difference is. And then also, I was talking to my wife last night, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do, if I'm going to just drop the cardio and continue to train as I'm training, change the food out for jasmine rice and red meat, put whole eggs back in, and just keep training how I'm training, or if I'm going to split my training sessions up and go to 2 days. Because back whenever I was getting leaner last year, I was leaning out and I was working out and everything. I was looking at some of my old posing videos, and man, my shoulders and arms and traps especially, holy moly, my traps were a lot thicker and a lot fuller. Of course, I was a lot heavier, and I was getting a lot of sodium and water and everything else. And but I was training everything twice a week, and I was doing 16 sets. And at some points, I was even doing 20 sets per body part twice a week, so 40 sets total. And it seemed to be working. I mean, it was responding looking at the old videos on my muscle mass and how thick I was and full. So I was like, well, what if I did 2-a-days? Split my training programs up. So I do like chest in the morning, back in the afternoon. And I do 16 sets per body part twice a week. And I just split them up, no cardio. Because the amount of cardio I'm doing, dropping that would give me the extra calories to burn in the morning on that. But then people are like, oh, if you train too often or you train too much, it's not going to work. But be curious to see what it was, because I think Flex Lewis or Flex Willer, I think it was Flex Willer. That's what he did. He trained twice a day. He trained in the mornings and he trained in the afternoons. He didn't do any cardio. And he split his training sessions up to 2 training sessions, doing 16 sets per body part twice a week. And he looked absolutely amazing. And maybe that's something I'm going to have to do, because I've tried a lot of different things, and I'm not just blindly like oh, well, I've tried a lot of stuff. I've done high. I'm doing actually high intensity right now because of the style of my training. I've done high volume, supersets, drop sets, pause sets, DC training. I've done a lot of training, done a lot of different styles, and my legs just like to respond to no matter what it is I do. It doesn't matter what kind of training I do. My legs just are responders. My upper body, it's still a mystery. I'm just not sure what it's going to take to get my upper body to respond. Now, whenever I was like between 270 and 290, I was powerlifting. I didn't even train my arms directly, but my arms were right under 19 inches, but they were also really, really fat. So I've also thought about like, well, man, what if I stop training my arms directly and they just don't need direct training? What if my arms respond better to indirect training than they do to direct training? And the reason why they're not responding and growing is because with all the back work and chest work I'm doing, that's enough stimulus for my arms to grow. And then adding in all the extra arm work is what's causing them to kind of atrophy and get smaller instead of bigger. And maybe that's what it is. So maybe if I just stop training them altogether, or maybe train them once every other week. So I go a whole week without training them, then the next week maybe do like three exercise per body part with maybe 3 to 4 movements, doing 9 to 12 sets, bicep, tricep once every other week, and trying that out. Because like I said, whenever I was powerlifting, I never trained them, and they were pretty big. They kept up with everything. They didn't get any smaller. They weren't like shriveled up and withered away till they were just pea shooters. My arms were pretty large. So given that I never actually directly trained my arms and they grew, kind of makes me like, why don't you try it? But then the fear of losing size or losing progress and not making progress is there. But it's like, it's not like they're going to get any smaller. You know for a fact when you don't train them, they don't get any smaller because you've done it before. And it's not like they're getting any bigger right now with what you're doing currently. So the census is after this to try one or two things, to either try not training them every week and to go to every other week, or to split up my training sessions to 2-a-days, so that way I could go back to 16 to 20 sets and see how that is. Because it seemed like whenever I was doing the 16 to 20 sets, now I was eating around 500 grams of protein a day. So I was doing 16 to 20 sets per body part, training twice a week, but I was also doing 500 grams of protein per day, which is a lot. But I was doing 3 pounds of meat a day. I was doing 2 pounds of yogurt a day. And then I was also adding in 3 scoops of protein with every pound of yogurt I ate. It was a lot of protein. Carbs were around 200. And fats was whatever fats were at for eating like that. So training twice a day. If I go to training twice a day, and if I decide to train twice a day, and I decide to do 16 to 20 sets per body part, and I train half, like if I do like let's say shoulders in the morning, the arms at night, and then chest in the morning, then back at night, and I'd keep my leg training the same once a day, quads on Wednesday, and then hamstrings on Saturdays, and increase my protein up to like 400, 450, and see what that does. And then the other part of me is just like, or you can back away off and start training everything once a week. Keep your food exactly how it is. Change the ground meat, change the chicken for ground meat, and then change the brown rice to jasmine rice. Add whole eggs back in. Keep the calories right around the same. Drop the cardio. That will get rid of the deficit, and then go from training twice a week to once a week, training everything once a week, and maybe your body just needs more rest and more recovery. And maybe that's what you need, and maybe that's what's going to cause the rest of your body to catch up. Because if you're training your legs once a week and they're growing, why don't you train your upper body once a week and see if that grows? Because I've done all that before. I've done all that so many times. Like I've done the training 3 days a week. I've done 4 days a week. I've done 5 days a week. And as I'm not talking for a week, I'm talking about for months and months and months and months. I've tried all that. Nothing seems to work for my upper body. Even while I was powerlifting, I did 3 days a week. I trained everything once, 3 days a week. I trained heavy and hard, but I was eating like 9,000 calories a day. And I was fat. So it's hard to say how much muscle I actually had. Anyways, like I said, this is something that's just been going through my mind. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Like, should I go to doing 2 days? Change the food out, keep the calories the same amount, but change out what my sources of protein and everything. Slowly increase it, and then go to 2 days, drop the cardio. Or go to 1 a week, training everything once a week, taking weekends off, be off Saturday, Sunday, train Monday through Friday, and just drop the volume, drop the frequency, increase the volume a little bit, or keep the intensity exactly how it is, how I'm training right now. But instead of going 2 weeks, I'll go to once a week, 5 days a week. There's so many different ways I could go about it, and I don't know which way is the right way and which way is the wrong way, but I know I'm going to figure out if this is the right way or wrong way for me to cut at the end of this, because I'll have the results. And the only way to figure out what else is going to work is to try it for 3 months solid without varying from my diet or training, and then estimate my progress. I want to eat now. That's just a lot to think about. I know I'm rambling. I'm going to eat. I'm hungry. It is lunchtime. Time for another chicken and rice meal. Second one of the day. So what I'm doing slightly different this time when I cook my chicken was, instead of straining all the juice out and then putting in the Tupperware, that big Tupperware to hold the chicken during the week, I add some of that broth into the Tupperware, and then I put my chicken in there. So hopefully it keeps it moist, because this morning it's pretty good. It wasn't bad. It was not too terribly dry. It was easier to eat than usual, which isn't saying much, because I still don't care for it, but it is still significantly better than what it was. I'm going to go ahead and keep this part short, because I am going to eat, because I am really hungry. I will see you guys at 4 o'clock in the gym. Okay, top set. We moved through them pretty quick. Started off with 100 pounds for the first warm up, and then we moved to 150 pounds. Tonight we're going to do 200 for our top set. The goal is between 8 to 12 reps. We'll see what I get. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to even get 8 with this. Now, last week I did 12 or 185, but I was also a little heavier and not as tired. Let's see what we get with this. Can't make excuses if you want to grow, right? But take it nice and slow. Okay, so I got 8 with that one. I went for a 9th, but if I can't hold it even for a fraction of a second, I don't count it. So I came up on 8, was able to hold it for a second, then went back down. That 9th one, I got it up. I could bang out 4 or 5 more like that, but that's not what I'm trying to go for. I'm not getting enough calories, and I'm not getting enough calories, I guess. I don't know, lack of a better term. But whenever I go into my bulk phase, I'm getting more carbs, I'm getting more protein. I'm not doing an hour of cardio a day. I won't stop there. I'll keep going through it until I can't get it up anymore. But for right now, trying to not get injured. So that's what a set looks like for me for what I'm calling failure. All right, now we're going to move to T-bar rows. 1 warm up, 1 set. With this right here, the T-bar rows, since I'm only doing 1 warm up, 1 set, we do 50% and then we go to 100%. So 50% was 2 plates. And last week we did 4 plates for 10 reps. So I'm going to try to get at least 11 reps tonight. Hopefully I get it. Hopefully I don't go back. I did better than I thought I was going to do on barbell rows. So who knows? Maybe it's with me tonight. Maybe I haven't. Maybe I got it tonight. We'll see how this goes. Never say never, right? Oh, I gotta get my mind into it. Oh, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Oh, I gotta embrace the pain though. Embrace the suck. Embrace the suck. It doesn't feel good to get results, right? Getting results hurts. It doesn't feel good. There's nothing enjoyable. Like, oh yeah, everything burns. It hurts. Oh yeah, I love it so bad. It's the aftermath, right? That's what we're after. We're after the aftermath. In order to get there, we got to go through this. And honestly, it's not even about like getting the weight up. It's honestly more about fighting it on the way down. Like getting it up and trying to squeeze it, that's not really like the way to go about it. The way you need to do it is you need to pull it and then just try to hold it up and just fight the gravity. You just gotta fight the gravity, because if you have the mindset of squeezing and then letting go softly, well, you're gonna let it go too quick, especially when you start to fatigue at the end of the set. So if you just pull it with the intention of not stopping, just you're continuously pulling, when you fatigue, that hold is no longer a hold. It's just you trying to pull into your chest, and gravity is going to do the rest. You can't continuously hold as you fatigue. It just doesn't happen. So trying to pull through continuously, consecutively, and just fight the gravity kind of gives you those perfect reps. So I got 12. That's a huge win. Gonna go up next week and weight. Simple. Done with that. Already 2/3 of the way done. Now we only have 1 set of dumbbell rows. Last week I did the 80s for 12, so I'm moving up to the 85s tonight. So we only have 1 set of these. Now, next time I work my back out, I do the seated machine rows instead. So in the seated machine rows, I try to get like a hard contraction here. With the dumbbell rows, it's a little bit harder to hold that. So instead, I get that deep stretch on the lat with these, and I just get a pull through. Then a deep stretch, and then a pull through. But with those, I do the opposite, because, well, it's the same movement. This machine that we have is like a dumbbell row. It's just it's a machine, so it feels exactly the same, except for I can target a different area. So I got this 1 set to do. So the thing is, if you're only doing 1 set, you have to put 100% effort into that set. If you're only going to do 1 warm-up and 1 set, you have to put 100% into that set. You cannot not put 100% into it. If not, you can't train like this. Like, I'm not saying like you have to be like eyes bulging out and blood squirting out your nose type deal and turning purple and blacking out, but you have to push yourself really difficult. If you have an extra 3-4 sets to do, then you could kind of slack off a little bit in the first 2 or 3 sets as long as you get that last one and you get serious. With this, there is no play around. It's straight to business. So, okay, got all 12 again. So now I'm going to rest about 15, 20 deep breaths. And then I'm going to do the other side, which is about a minute, minute and a half. And that's going to be it for back. Then we're going to move to chest. So I'm going up to 60 tonight on the dumbbell press. So I started with the 40s. I actually did 15, and then I did the 50s for 12. Last week I did the 55s for 12, so I'm going to the 60s. We'll see how much I get. I'm not looking for 12 reps. I'm just looking for at least 8, at least a minimum 8. If I get it, cool. If I don't, it's okay, because I have all the time in the world to build up to 12 to go back up. My chest is one of those things I'm not really in a big hurry to re-tear. I don't know if y'all got picked that up on camera. Can you see that on the camera? Like the nice big dip right there and the huge scar, and you can see the tendon versus this side. That big pullover. Ooh. But you got all this right here, right? And now look, this big dip. It's just gone. Just gone. Just not there anymore. So I'm not really, I want a nice pretty chest for what I got, but I'll get what I can take. I'll get what I can take. Now let's see if we get these 60. So weights, the amount of weight that I use is completely irrelevant to how I train my chest now. I just go for that nice deep muscle burn and a mild stretch, because going heavy destroyed my pec. So I kind of give up the whole concept of everything of going heavy. I really don't honestly have a desire to go heavy anymore on anything. It's not what I'm after. I want to feel the muscles work. I want to feel the muscles burn. I want to feel muscle fatigue. I don't want to feel strain, tearing, and popping. And also, I got to say, since I gave up the supplements, I'm not taking my supplements no more. I just take the multivitamin. And I have to say, man, like, I feel a lot better tonight than I have in a while. And I just think that they're just causing gastro distress and bloating. Like, I think they're just messing my stomach up more than they're helping me, because, man, I feel so much better today. Like, my stomach just feels tremendously better. Okay, let's see what I get on this. I want to take this nice and slow. Nope, I'm going to call it on that. Ooh, I'm going to call it for 8. I was going to go for 9, but if I pushed it real hard, see, my left pec was like, we got it. Let's do it. We can do it. And my right pec was just like, I don't know about that. Because how I gauge it, it doesn't feel how this one feels. I know everybody knows what it feels like to get that good press. And they're like, oh, this is a grind. Okay. Well, with this pec, I don't feel that. It feels like nothing, 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 nothing. And then almost the feeling of a severe cramp. That's how it feels. So I don't get that like muscle pump, 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 fatigue, fatigue, burn, 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 strain, strain, done. It's nothing, 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 nothing. It feels like it's about to cramp and rip. So that's how I gauge this one. So that's why it's just like, okay, we're good, we're good, we're good, and we're done. Because I can't judge because the feeling isn't like it used to be, because when they cut through me, I'm pretty sure some nerves got cut. So the sensation's way different on this side than this side. So I judge it off of that. Oh, no, they ain't pushing it past that. But it's working though. I still... It's not too bad. Okay, so we did 3 sets of this, and now we're moving on to incline press next. I think I made the right call whenever I dropped my sets, because I used to do 16 sets, and then it was 12 sets, and now I'm doing 6 sets twice a week with the deficit that I'm in, the cardio. I'm pretty sure I made the right call, and it's hard to see that in my head. Like this morning, I was talking about like, where do I go when I'm done with this? Am I going to go back to 20 sets? Am I going to go to 16 sets? Am I going to do 2 a days? Am I going to train in the morning and in the evenings? How am I going to do it? Well, I want to keep it exactly how it is right now. Like there's just clarity from being in the gym, having a muscle pump, feeling your results, seeing your results, and it all coming together. So like I know what I need to do, but like I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to like programming and training, because like it's just like program overload, right? There's information overload, and there's so much, and so many people say so many different things, but like I just have to remember to stick to the basics and just stick with what works. And that's what I'm doing right now. No matter how much it seems like you're not moving, you just have to remember, a quarter of an inch forward is still a quarter of an inch forward, regardless of how long it took you to get there. And it'll all come together. So last week I did 50s for 8. So the goal is 50s for 9, at least 9. Now this is a lot of pec minor, so that's why when I'm doing dumbbell press, I can only get the 60s, but on the incline, I can do the 50s. And the incline's a harder movement than flat, but I have my pec minor still fully attached, and you engage more of your pec minor because your pec minor runs from here to here, and your pec major runs from here to here. And when you do incline, you're using more of your pec minor. That's why you get that hard cut in the chest line, and you get like this little block of muscle here and this block of muscle here, because it's a separation of the pecs, of the pec minor, pec major. So since my pec minor is still fully intact, I'm able to dumbbell press incline almost as efficiently as I can doing flats. Well, we got it. Barely, but we got it. I got that negative on that last one. I could have pushed again, but I could tell the way my pec was starting to feel. It was that like almost like crampy feeling. So I could have tried to go up one more time, but I know what would have happened. So it's just like call it at 9, get a little negative on it, call it a win. Got it. Oh, we got it. I think I'm going to start calling it my post-pump clarity. That's what I want to call it. Because, like,
Before, when I'm all flat, deflated during the day, and I don't got my pump going on, and I wake up all dehydrated, I'm like, oh no, every decision I made is wrong up to this point. And then I get that post pump clarity, and it's just like, wait a minute, hold on, it's working. And then I even got the lap coming out, all the fat's going away on the sides, still fat. See, this is a huge issue here. All this is like a huge trouble area, but this has gone down a lot. This used to be a handful. Like this right here, I used to grab like a handful of that. Now it's like a finger's worth, like a couple fingers, but it's not a handful no more. But it's going down. It's going down significantly. This is getting really thin here. This is getting thin. I'm getting loose skin all in my arms. Surprise there, but just got to get that to go away. And I'm not gonna lie, when I turned to the side a little bit there, I kind of cramped all that a little bit. That kind of hurt. Oh, get that last break. Oh, all right. This is my last set. So I do this a little bit different. I don't just go into this with no warm up because my pec sucks. So I do one set first with 50 pounds, and I'm going into my actual set with 70. I do more reps on this than all the others because this squeezing motion puts a lot of pull on that, and it's not a comfortable feeling. But I think this I benefit not only for muscle mass on this, gaining size, but I feel like this helps strengthen that whole area up for in case I'm ever in a situation where I have to like real quickly in life catch something or grab something and it pulls me. It helps get it strong for in those situations in life, like it won't hopefully tear or whatever. I don't know how much science there is to that, but that's how it feels in my head. So let's get this. Last week I did this for 13. I do this for a little bit more reps. I go for 15 on this because again, it's not about the weight for me on this type of movement. It's about the squeeze. And then also I can feel my shoulder that I hurt back in February. The mobility is coming back in it amazingly because I'm able to do a lot of movements. Again, I'm getting almost a full range of motion back with everything I do. You might be thinking, if you're talking in your set, you're not training hard enough. You're right, not on this movement. I do not do this one crazy hard. But that's 10 reps right there. I got 5 more to go. If I get all 5, I'll go up next week. Wow. Oh. There it is, last one. Now the thing about this is last week when I hit 13, I got that nice cramping sensation in my pec at 13. And this week, I don't even feel it. So I have graduated from 70 pounds for 15 reps. So now next week I get to go up. I'll probably go up to 75 because I'm not in a big hurry to go heavy on these movements because I'm trying not to do anything that's going to damage it. So that's it for the workout. I'm going to jump on the Stairmaster for 30 minutes and then I'll hit you guys up and when I'm going to tan. Yeah, that's what I'll do. All right, let me do my cardio. On our way to the tanning salon. Gotta get my skin looking like a bodybuilder, right? I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna call that workout a 10 out of 10. It felt great. I looked great. Like I was saying in the gym, I got that post pump clarity, and it is just feeling really good. I gotta tell you, like the first 5 weeks was difficult, and I was in my head. Even this morning, I was in my head, not about what I'm doing right now, but just about where to go when I'm done with this. Because there's so many roads, there's so many paths, there's so many directions you could go, and so many people say blah 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 blah. But after my grandma telling me how skinny I was and how puny I looked, that got in my head. I'm not gonna lie, that bothered me a lot because I was finally not feeling like that. And then just like, oh, and here's just to reassure you, you're still small, right? But I got away from that after I got my post pump clarity, and I gotta say, I'm going to keep going the way I'm going. After I get done with this, I'm going to keep training exactly how I'm training. I'm just going to go back to red meat, jasmine rice, and I'm going to add some beef stock for sodium into my food. I'm going to keep the egg whites, the oatmeal, the egg whites, the protein shake exactly how it is, and then from there, I'm going to start increasing my my carbs, because I think 330 grams of protein a day is plenty for I will be around 200 pounds. I think that'd be plenty for a 200-pound bodybuilder. 330 is plenty. That's over 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Plenty of protein for me. So I'm going to do the thing that I've never done before, and that's increase my carbs and leave my protein the same. Because normally I increase my protein and leave my carbs the same. So this time I'm going to do something I've never done before. Well, not never done before, but something I haven't done in a very, very, very long time, because it's normally always about protein for me, and not really so much about the carbohydrates. But I'm going to change it up. Why? Because if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and it's not working, then that's insanity. That's the definition of insanity. And I'm not insane. I'm a little crazy, but I'm not insane. Okay, so I'm heading to the tanning salon, guys. I know I already said that, but I'm going to go ahead and end the video right here. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow.